Hello, I'm Rachel Bood at Align Movement Studios, and today I'd like to welcome Sarah Clement from, she's the owner of Vancouver Island Osteopathy and also Growing Bodies Wellness. VI Osteopathy is in Courtney and Growing Bodies is in Comox. And Sarah leads a team of osteopaths and is an osteopath herself, a fabulous osteopath, may I say. And I'd like to say welcome. Thanks for joining me today, Sarah.
Thanks, Rachel. It's fun to be here.
I love that you're out in the sunshine. I'm loving the sunshine.
I love it too.
So, Sarah, lots of people don't really know what osteopathy is or what an osteopath is. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about yourself and what you offer in the community.
Absolutely. And I have to say that in Canada, we are called osteopathic practitioners.
Okay.
Just legally, that is the title we go by. So
okay.
We get in trouble if we call ourselves osteopaths. So we don't
okay.
tend to do that.
Okay.
So osteopathic practitioner is a body worker. So we are holistic practitioners, and that we look at all systems of the body, and then we gently use our hands to support the body in whichever way it needs. So it's a really tough thing to explain just because it's very varied. Our goal is to basically support the body to its own inherent healing. So the way we look at our role is to gently induce that healing with what we do. We don't say that we're fixing anything or that we we don't take the responsibility for what the body does. We just set the body up to do what it needs to. So because of that, we see lots and lots of different conditions, and the way in which we address those can look really different. But essentially, we try and find the root cause of what's driving any symptoms. Usually they're pain related or discomfort related. And then after a thorough assessment, we gently encourage the body with our hands and with tasks that we give people to do at home to get the body to move more easily, and then hopefully with less discomfort or pain.
Amazing. So when you do task at home, does that look like sort of specific exercises or an exercise routine? How does movement and exercise work in conjunction with your practice?
Yeah, absolutely. So it can be exercises. Sometimes it's things as simple as breathing. So a lot of the time what we see with injuries is that there's destabilization, or there's a lot of tightness through tissues, or sometimes weakness, or both. And so a lot of what we give at home is to help support what we're doing in session with stability and lengthening and strengthening for those structures outside of the space. So I, of course, send a lot of people to Pilates classes, yoga, gentle strength-based activities. So sometimes we will say, you know what, I think it'd be really beneficial, go and do some Pilates. Sometimes it's a matter of, hey, here's 5 exercises, and then we give really specific guidelines on how they are to be done at home. And then the big thing that I see with exercise and anything we prescribe is that it's very much about listening to the body. So it's not about, okay, here's your exercises, here's how many sets, here's how many reps, this is exactly how to do it. It's like, okay, here's some tasks. This is what I feel is going to be really beneficial, but I want you to try these. I want you to adapt these and make sure that they feel appropriate for your body, how it feels right now, or how anytime you go to do those tasks.
Yeah, so that idea of really actually tapping into sensation for yourself, doing that self-guided, how does this feel in my body? How many can I do well? Those ideas.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what kind of tips, do you have some tips or things that are working for you right now in this time of uncertainty to stay positive and healthy?
I think, there's no other way of looking at this. This is a huge, really, there's so many huge ramifications worldwide for the worldwide community and for everybody within that. And so I think, it's a really tough situation, and it's not a positive situation overall, but I think from it, there are so many positives. So for me personally right now, I'm sitting in the sunshine on I don't even know what day it is. I think it's a Wednesday afternoon, where I would usually be at work in my office, which I love, don't get me wrong. But I'm spending time outside in the sun. I have every day to spend with my child, and I usually don't get to see my child a whole lot, especially during the week. So I think for me, maintaining positivity during this time is really trying to see the positivity in this situation, and that there is actually some really cool things to be grateful for, even though the whole situation in itself is a really tough one.
Mm-hmm. It's for me, I find that it is a situation that has created this necessity to stay in the moment. Like,
Right.
there's no way to plan ahead. Like,
Yeah,
there's no option to plan ahead. There's
absolutely.
very easy to spin off into the what ifs or what you can't do.
Right.
So what a great, we've talked about this lots in these interviews of an opportunity to really be in the present,
Yeah,
appreciate what you have in that moment, and
definitely.
yeah, and it changes by the minute anyway.
Absolutely. And there's no sense in rushing because of that. You know, usually it's like, okay, I've got to get this done, this done, this done. There's always something to do. It's like right now there's for, you know, and I also recognize that for some people life looks more busy than usual, and that, you know, the people on the front line and essential service, I recognize what I'm saying is looking really different for them, and I acknowledge that hugely. But you know, there's time, so it's nice to, you know, yesterday I went on a huge big walk with my daughter, and we went off-roading a little bit, and we got stuck in some mud puddles, and instead of being like, oh my gosh, we've got to get back, because, like, you know, it was like, this is really fun, let's just get really muddy and let's go home. I went home with a naked child 2 hours later, and we had so much fun, and I never had the time to do those things. So just being really grateful for the lack of rush in life right now.
Yeah. It'll be interesting, and an interesting transition on how to I think, I'll speak for myself, but productivity and busyness often gets pushed into one, whereas I would love to be able to move forward with productivity, but more ease and in the moment. So that's a goal for me, but we'll see.
Yeah, I absolutely share that. I hope that, you know, some of these things that we're experiencing and some of the positives that we are taking from the situation, we can take with us once the situation shifts, will be really cool.
Yeah. I think, what do they say? It takes 21 days to change a habit, or to 21 days to build a new habit. Like,
we're there.
If I miss the first, 10 or 15, I'll jump on.
Exactly. We can really consolidate this. Yeah.
Totally. So, do you have an exercise to share for mind, body, or soul, or something, an idea that you can share with people?
Yeah, I think so. For me personally, during this time, I have more time to prioritize the things that perhaps I don't when life looks like we have been used to it looking. And so for me, I love being in a gym and lifting heavy things, and that's something that I get a lot of enjoyment from. And right now my gym is closed. I'm not doing that. So it's been a really nice opportunity to seek out some different activities. So I recognize that lifting heavy things requires a balance of then lengthening tissues and structures, you know, with things like yoga and Pilates, which I really enjoy, but often don't prioritize just because in the moment they don't, I guess they don't excite me just quite as much. So I've been using the time to engage in more yoga and Pilates type activities. So I think my advice around this is really, or I guess my what I would say around this is really non-specific. It's maybe use the opportunity to try something that you're not naturally inclined towards, or something that you might be inclined towards but not have the time often to prioritize for such a task, and give it a go. I'm feeling amazing in my body just with having a little bit of extra length and flexibility that I haven't felt in a really, really long time, and it feels great. And I can confidently say that when everything shifts, I will prioritize the time to continue these activities because I feel so good from them.
Nice. Nice. That's awesome. So if you're somebody who loves the cardio game, try some mindfulness. If you love heavy lifting, try some lengthening.
Absolutely.
It's true. We tend to gravitate, especially when we have time constraints, to things that we really enjoy, and this is an opportunity to try something new. That's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
if you're watching this on YouTube, we have some YouTube videos in both Pilates and yoga. And so you can go over there and check that out too. And Sarah, I know you're not doing any clients just now.
We are offering some, I'm offering some telehealth and phone consultations just free of charge, basically just to check in with clients if anything acute comes up that they're looking for support with, or new clients that are having a tough time. Basically anyone that feels they could do with support right now. Of course, our consultations are very different because it's not hands-on and our work is so hands-on, but certainly we're here to support people if we can via video and phone call free of charge.
Okay, and how do they connect with you? How do they find you?
So they can send me an email. All our information is on our website, so viosteopathy.ca, or email me directly, Sarah with an H at viosteopathy.ca, and then I could certainly guide them with that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me and us today.
Thank you.
On this sunshiny afternoon. It was really great to connect with you, and
you too.
Yeah, I hope to see you soon.
Okay.